Alright folks, hello and welcome to another modern stream. We're gonna be playing another league with Green White Reclaimer. It feels like Green White is... The way I see it, it's Green White is gonna be better in a competitive tournament than Amulet is, but Amulet might be better in leagues and stuff like that when you get paired against all sort of random stupid decks. So that's why I feel like I have not been doing very well with this deck lately in leagues. Not playing anything in a few. The problem with that is that it's very likely gonna just be like 9 rounds, and I'm not gonna be playing Magic for the next 9 hours. That's just not a thing that's gonna happen. You've been doing terrible with Amulet in leagues. So I guess maybe Amulet also sucks in leagues. That's also possible. But the great skill about playing Amulet is being able to, you know, just like slam your head against the wall multiple times, even if you're not doing well in leagues. You can just continue jamming Amulet because that's what you do. You woke up and ready to judge and snipe me? Sounds good. I'm into that. I'll keep this. Wow, this is like the first reasonable hand that I've seen in a long time. Coolio. Ryan is in Dredge. I usually like to approach, unless I know for a fact who I am playing against. My opponent says easiest matchup of my life. I'm gonna give them the question mark. Just telling them I'm totally about to get got, ain't I? That's what I told them. Alright, so they are actually playing Dredge, so I guess we're in good shape. They said, nah, you crush me. Like, go, okay. Let's go get Flagstones. Let's get our engine going. They mail me. Oh no, my one-offs. You monster. Ryan is a massive troll. Okay, good to know, good to know. They're going for the Dredge backup plan of milling me out, I guess. Classic Dredge strategy. Classic Dredge strategy of trying to mill me out. We could call. I think I just explore. I was calling for that one, so good job, me. Alright, I guess we're really. Opponent is really committed to the meme of milling me out. They're really committed to the meme of milling me out. I guess it's better for us to attack to play the land first here, I guess. Second field and Valakut. And spent $100 for me to play Dredge twice in challenges. We love Ryan, don't we, chat? Ryan is good for houses economy, I guess. Ryan is our local oil prince. Nice. This Ryan guy sounds great. We could play Limbala to stop my opponent's Merchant of the Veil. Obviously, I'm trolling. Shimmer Showdown. 6/6 double tutor or 2 mana Dredge 15. Who wins? Interesting. Why take Path out against Dredge? Do you think I should be pathing my opponent's price amalgams? Opponent kind of gave it to us there. I don't think that they could win anyway. Like, yeah, they obviously gave it to us. They were very committed to the meme, but I don't think that they could win on a mull to 3. We can do better than this. That's not better than that. Natty Bog. Bogchamp. Wow, I actually have never heard that one. That's funny. I would appreciate it if we could draw with cards here, though. That's for sure. Reclaimer. Okay. The keen and trained eye might have realized how I brought in Night of Autumn. That's why. Feel like our first hand was decent enough. Against Dredge, the matchups that you lose is because your opponent runs you over in the early turns, and my first hand didn't give me any protection from that. Like, even if we make it to the late game, we just win 100% out of 100% of the games. So usually against Dredge, I like keeping hands that protect me from getting completely owned in the first couple of turns of the game. Which this hand does to an extent, and the first hand didn't. In fact, you see how, like, my opponent would have been able to, like, get a Bloodghast back. They would have been able to get an Amalgam back and actually start putting pressure here. I guess that the Amalgam did come back anyway, but... Did I bottom you? I thought I had bottomed you. So we're gonna take 5 here. I guess we have to draw a Dryad. If we draw a Dryad, we're gonna be in fine shape. But we kind of have to draw a Dryad this turn off the top. No, I know I shuffled, yeah. Try it. Eledamber Skull is unfortunately going to be 1 short, which really sucks. Down to 1 here, we lose to many things. In fact, can we survive here? We just have to call for... we have to call for fucking Nada Bottom to game 4. That's the only way that we don't lose. And then Knight of Autumn chumps. It's kind of cute. We chump Amalgam, then take 4. Oh, they milled con flag. Okay. Like taking this matchup, shuts off con flag. I guess it might be better than Raminab. I don't think it's good though. Like, I don't think this card is good. Oh, Rain is streaming too? Sure. So we're gonna go turn 1 Flagstones, turn 2 Flagstones to fix our mana. Should allow me to call. Relic obviously pretty good here. Being on the play, of course. Very smart of me to win game 1, so I could be on the play in game 3. I'm not gonna be playing the PTQ too rad. I don't intend to be playing Magic for the next 9 hours of my life. I don't intend for that to be a thing that happens. I dislike the PTQs today. I dislike the timing of the PTQ. Like starting a PTQ at 2 p.m. Like that's just rough. It's just rough for the West Coast players. Okay, so it seems like we're gonna be cracking our thingy here. Imp, Loam. And what's the name of the land? Dakmor Salvage. Is that draw good, chat? Feels like that was a good draw. This also allows me to play around. Also allows me to play around Thoughtseize. Maybe I should have gone to basic planes there. Actually, there are some dredge lists that sometimes run Bloodmans in the board. Doesn't seem like my opponent is on that plan, but it could be, and that seems like the only way that I can potentially lose here. All right, I mean that's a pretty good mill right there for sure. That's an excellent mill. All right. All right. This is the first ever MTGO event that has ever been reasonable time for an Australian in the history of every MTGO event. That makes sense too, right? Yeah, that actually makes sense. I mean, it's just rough with time zones, right? Because there's just no way that you can please everybody. That's just the nature of how time zones work. You just literally cannot please anybody. You're always going to screw somebody up. There's no real way around it. You can split the timings, but you know, somebody's not gonna be able to play in an event, whether they like it or not. Unless they really mess up their sleep schedule like Yama. I really don't know how Yama does it. Just like playing every single fucking event. But if you're a reasonable human being, it's just not reasonable. It's just not okay. Not really doable. So it was super rough for EU players. Yeah, a lot of people were saying like, yeah, this event starts at 10 p.m. for me, or like something like that, which is just like, what are you gonna do? Just like play Magic until 6 a.m.? Like, how well can you play? You know, you're just sacrificing your sleep schedule. And also qualifying for the PT is a joke. Like there's significantly higher upside in trying to qualify for the showcase. Why Tangled Florahedron? Because it's a land that you can call for. Let's fix my sleep schedule. I really hope this tournament doesn't fuck it again. Might happen. Okay, so they choose to go for the Conflagrate. They tanked for a while on that decision. The sad thing is that it's not going to matter too much. Just get field walk here. End the game. Next turn we call for Dryad, play both of these Valakids. GG's. Living in Hawaii must be nice. Probably not if you want to play moto events. Can flag for 0? Jeez. Yeah, we're playing Primeval Titan, so our Dread matchup is good. Dredge has basically disappeared from the face of the earth. I wonder why that is. Does Dredge have a bath for Coloromnath matchup? Is that what it is? Or is it the fact that if you're going to play a graveyard deck, you should just play Oops, which is a lot better? Bad Heliod matchup. But nobody really plays Heliod in MTGO because it's just so shitty to... It's just so shitty to play. Just so shitty to deal with all the... with the people that don't scoop to it. Professional Magic player. So next turn we can play an uncounterable Dryad and we can get... Thought Scour themselves. Kolaghan's Command and Young Pyromancer are the cards that my opponent reveals. Now that's something. Breathe or something? Stomp. Okay. Yes. I don't think I should be playing around Moon. What I am going to do here is I'm going to get a Valakut so we can get that train going. You know what year it is? I don't know. The Grixis though. I still remember that time where like JVP had just been printed. JVP had just been printed and everybody was going nuts. Completely nuts over the Grixis colors. This is actually lethal, by the way. That's why I'm doing this. We're gonna get 2 triggers off of these. Are we getting logic knotted? We're getting logic knotted. That's how you know that my opponent lives in the past. Remember when this card was playable? But yeah, at one point, Baby Jace was the Udo of like 2016, like whenever that card was printed. Those were the times. Those were the times. By the way, the lethal line last turn was play a Spring Bloom, deal get 2 lands, deal 6 damage. Then path my Spring Bloom, get a basic, deal 2 more damage. Go squatter myself, deal the last 3 points. Yeah, they by fetching there, they left themselves dead on board to my fetch plus my Ghost Quarter. Grixis control. I should probably expect Ashiok, huh? Magic was so different when I started playing him. When I started playing MGO, oh my god, this hand's so close. We're gonna have to ship it though. Where are my lands? Don't kill my Reclaimer. Oh man. Mm-hmm. I don't want to show them the red source, basically. What am I calling for? Mill me? Really? Oh, Drown in the Lock? Is that what's going on? They milled themselves game 1 though. Yeah, this boil is 4 mana win the game. I think we all know that at this point. If this boil resolves, that is 4 mana, we win the game. So I'm trying to think. I don't want to get a Reclaimer. I think I'm going to go for Primetime. That's not a bad draw. So now instead boil and tap boil. And they can't cast spells, which is even better. Boil! Alright, House. Thanks for stopping by. Boil! In before Force of Negation. Alright, in before the match concession. They don't make them like they used to. These are the hands that we want to see. Elvish Mystic has been cast. Growth Chamber Guardian has been cast right after Elvish Mystic. It's an elf crab warrior. Elf crab warrior. Oh man, you gotta love Moto Leagues. You just gotta love Moto Leagues. You gotta love Moto Leagues. God damn it, that's just priceless. It's missing Shaman? Yeah, I know. What the hell, right? Not a Shaman. Confirmed unplayable. One, two, three, four. We play Dryad. We play land. Guess it's better for us to get... It's not lethal by 2 points, so I guess I just get to Armageddon them. Armageddon seems good. Oh no, this is actually lethal. Never mind. Second delegate. Face is the place. Pew. This member sounds good. Linvala sounds nasty. Linvala sounds absolutely nasty. Yeah, let's go Linvala. Angel time. It does seem like we're playing the superior elf deck because ours plays Path to Exile, obviously. Okay. I guess this is how we drew it up. Hey, Turbine Fosh, how's it going? Simba Layer for the Helio deck? Yes. Precisely. Precisely for the Helio deck. I'm gonna name Elf. We're gonna do this and this. Elvish Reclaimer. Play Reclaimer. Say go. Okay. Heritage Druid. Okay. 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 This puts the card in your hand, right? Yeah, okay. Cool. So it's gonna take them. Gonna require them a lot of mana to get that engine going. That's a pretty great draw, actually. So on their draw step, I'm gonna path them, I think. No. Do we have to path the Isuri now? I think we might have to pass the Isuri now. 1, 2, 3. I guess that they don't activate their dude. Okay, that's very interesting. No, I think that actually it's fine for us to path the Isuri here. Like, they can make one more mana, but that taps their dude, so we're fine. If they play something here, yeah, that's not very good. We're gonna get castle here so we can slam Titan. And I guess that we just get field plus Radiant Fountain? Because next turn we can get Blast Zone. We kind of don't even want a Blast Zone here. And I don't think I even attack. What does this thing do? So I guess that the fight mode was the best one that they could have used. Sure, let's get it there for 3. I don't think my opponent's going to be able to get through this. But what I didn't want to happen is my opponent like Cocos into the guy that Shaman of the Pack, and they just drain me out of the game. Gonna be able to get some 4/4s, which doesn't do anything. That top deck is nice because it allows me to put my opponent out of their misery. All right, 3-0. We were facing horrendous matchups before, and now we're actually facing pretty solid ones. Also, our hands have been significantly better in the last couple of games than in the last couple of matches, I guess. Going with the Reclaimer first, because if they're playing an aggro deck, I might be interested in pathing their dude. Okay, we're playing against a blue deck with Zero Vision, so I have to assume that it's a combo deck of some sort. Flagstones? No Flagstones. But this means that they can't bold my Reclaimer anymore, which is nice. Ba ba na na ba 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 can't bolt me ba ba na na ba 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 can't bolt me ba ba na na ba 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 can't bolt me ba 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 ba. That's a new one. Cascade Bluffs has entered the battlefield. I'm not gonna play into my opponent's Archmage's Charm. So I'm just gonna, this turn I'm just gonna Flagstones for Cavern of Souls. If we're playing against the Kiki deck, that is obviously not as good, but you gotta pick your battles. From Cam what? If you're wondering where I'm gonna field you, the answer is yes. Yes, opponent, I will hella field you. But this might not matter. Like, this is the good old Splinter Twin effect. Like, if my opponent has Exarch plus Kiki Jiki, we're just dead here. Yeah, nothing that we could realistically do. I guess that's a lie, actually. I could have just held up my path to exile. So, yeah, that's a lie. What was Twin banned but not Kiki? Because Kiki is easier to interact with than Twin was. I am facing a lot of meme decks here. I don't think this deck is okay, actually. I do think that this deck is just fine. Like, it's not insane or anything, but I think it's very strong. Like, it's doing something very strong. I don't know if I would be playing Wandering Fumarole, though. That's probably where I would draw the line. If we were playing Amulet, I would copy my opponent's Fumarole, but this being Reclaimer, you have to be more picky with what you use Vesuva for, because you're probably not going to be able to bounce it later in the game. You have to be a little bit more careful about it. Yeah, okay, that is a little bit more memey. That is a little bit more memey, maybe. Just playing double Fumarole seems very, very bad. Ashiok. Anger of the Gods. Okay. This guy is so good. This guy is so freaking good. I love it. Two cards on the bottom. Go. That's just bad. That's just so bad. They destroy their own island. Oh man, what a joke. Yeah, what are you doing? Like, just don't do that. Like, your deck is good against my deck. Why are you doing that to yourself? Why would you do that? Like, it makes no sense. It makes literal no sense. Sometimes people just outplay themselves. Reserva del 92. That's a great name. Qué buen name. Qué buen nombre. Yeah, we're gonna ship this. Oh, come on. Not this hands, man. Alright, we have 32 lands that we're drawing towards here. 32 freaking lands that we're drawing towards. Can we find one of our 32 lands before this is embarrassing? Land. Whew. I'm gonna do this now because if my opponent has a bolt and they kill my Reclaimer here, we can play a second Reclaimer. Gonna activate right now, play around something like a Shadowed Out, something silly. Anger. Triple blue Ashiok. Oh, that. Another Reclaimer. Play my land. I guess I don't care about the Reclaimer at all, so I'm just gonna pass the turn. So Call, I thought it was safe. No, actually, Call is a real card right now in Modern. Cleansing Wildfire. You got it. Making my Reclaimer bolt proof and anger proof, I guess. I'm willing to bet that my Reclaimer is better than my opponent's Reclaimer. Gonna go on a limb over here. Maybe I'm just getting a little bit cocky, but I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna say that my opponent's Reclaimer is worse than mine. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy here. What do you think, Chad? Maybe I'm crazy here. It kind of feels like that might be the case. I always think you're crazy. Okay, good to know. Good to know, Daniel. I'm just gonna get another Reclaimer. My opponent's missing land drops. Seems like they can't really interact with this engine in a profitable way because my Reclaimer is now large. So step one. Just gonna get plains. We're gonna get a Field of the Dead here. We have triple removal spells, so I'm not too scared of getting comboed out of the game. We're gonna dismember now. See what my opponent does. Lol. No need for me to play the Dryad and get God Vibe Oil. We're just winning this game as is. And we should be able to set up lethal for next turn. Got me. Tap my land. Next turn, Kiki, yeah. They don't even activate Reclaimer. The disrespect. The disrespect. And by the way, this is why you should not bring Boil against Dryad decks. Particularly when you have a good matchup against those decks. If you have a bad matchup against those decks, you just, you know, kind of have to eat it up and do what you have to do, you know? Wait for them to choose a target, then we can use the Celestial Purge. How crazy is it that my 1-drop won this game single-handedly? My opponent did not appreciate that I go for the correct play. My opponent did not appreciate the fact that I literally went for the correct play, which is go wait for your opponent to choose the target, particularly when you're 15. If you're having lethal, then obviously. But Path is the significantly better removal spell here, so I want to use my worst card. So it is technically correct. to do exactly what I just did, but my opponent somehow did not appreciate it. But all right, whatever. This is definitely worth. This is definitely worth a screenshot though. We're gonna do this. Let's see if we can get this over here. Of course, we're leaving the name very visible. There we go. That is very funny. That is very, very funny. Particularly me, like I never slow roll anybody ever. I feel like it's so rude to slow roll, and my opponent just calls me a slow roller because I am making the technically correct play. Anyway, whatever. Still bitter from the last round ball. Yeah, exactly. That must be it. What do you think of current D&T meta share? I see a lot of people playing it, myself included, but not achieving great results. You're asking the wrong person. Like I played the deck on stream here. I streamed it maybe like 3 weeks ago or something. You can watch the VODs in my YouTube channel. And I did not do very well with it. But you can probably ask like Spider Space or those guys that are really, really good with the deck. If those guys are not into the deck, then I would assume that that's probably a reason for that. And I think Spider has been playing the Electro Balance. Has been playing the Electro Balance deck. So I don't know if that takes a big part into consideration, but I've been seeing so many hands like this one, which is just like incredible, but I'm missing a green source, so I just have to ship it. This hand's very good though. I think we ship the Foundry. Like seeing the second Skyclave main. Card's too good to play only one. It is good. It has been giving me very, very good results. So yes, I agree that it's quite powerful. But so this is some form of combo deck, right? It has to be. Probably oops. So if this is oops, I guess I want to explore here. Because I'm gonna have to call for apparition. Okay, it is oops all spells. I'm gonna lose to the Leyline. Because we can't bog them, right? That's the reason. So we're at 17, we're gonna go down to 5. Okay, so if they have the combo next turn, we can't win. So how do we win? We win by clearing their board with Dryad next turn. So we have to untap. If we get to untap, we're fine because we can call for Florahedron and that enables our Valakuts. And once we get there, okay, so my opponent just had the perfects. Yeah, they just have the perfects. Turn 3 kill through Bojuka Bog. How is this version against Ron? It's one of our worst matchups. Stark B. Looking at the cards, just gonna have 6 here. I've been following them and I see a lack of consistency. I've been playing it for a while, same as Burn, and it feels like both decks are good when the meta is unstable. Yeah, that's very possible too. Again, you're asking the wrong person because I played it and I did horribly with it. So it's not in a small. It's not in small reason because I just don't like that style of play, basically. So, oops, we didn't lost to it in the finals last weekend. Yeah, I think that Sodic has not been playing that. And here my opponent has Xaxis. I don't think that we were winning if we blocked anyway, but yeah. Played your Legacy List as a friend on Red Blue Delver today and it felt great. I cut a fetch for a 4th once upon. Felt good. Thanks for your con. Oh, thank you, Rats. That's awesome. Glad to hear that you're doing well with the deck. The deck has been a lot of fun, so happy to hear that you're doing well with it too. I would not be bringing in Knight of Autumn, but we literally just saw the ley line, so. Laying to turn 3. Yeah, I mean, if your opponent has the nuts, they just have the nuts, right? Like, what can you really do about it? Hey, Ryan, how's it going? GG's earlier. This hand obviously loses to if they are playing the Belcher sideboard plan, but we don't really have any reasonable outs. And I guess that even against the Belcher sideboard plan, if we find 2 white sources in the first 4, in the best first 2 or 3 turns, we're gonna be fine. But we probably cannot mulligan a hand with double relic. And they only have 3 cards, so they can't turn to me, which means... Wait, can they turn to me? I mean, I guess if they draw perfects... No, okay, now they can't turn to me. So it's going to be better for me. Yeah, I think it's better for me to just play a second relic here. Instead of playing the Reclaimer. Cool. So we're never tapping out of this mana. Land, please. They're gonna gain a lot of time to get out of this situation. But I'm not cycling here because otherwise we just lose to my opponent finding. We're playing 32 lands, Jet. 32. 33. No, 34. I didn't side out any of my lands. So we're playing 34 lands. Somehow can't find them. Hardcast chill. You got it. Okay, 34 lands, can't find any. Let's be in the Explorer. Thoughtseize away. This is why I really dislike this kind of deck. It's just so silly. It's not the most fun gameplay, you know? Okay. Opponent's given up. Just percent the same. Yeah, just percent the same. We could play Gadok Teague. The reason for Teague is I don't know if my opponent is on the Belcher plan. I guess on the draw I'd rather have Explorer actually. Never mind. On the play that would make more sense, but on the draw it's just... Stops Leyline Hardcast and Chill Hardcast. Okay, good to know. Probably have to keep this hand. It's not great, but probably worth keeping. Turn to explore. No, I'm gonna go for a turn 1 Reclaimer because I have 2 looks at an untapped source. But it moves to 3 again. So I have 2 looks at an untapped source. Oh, they're gonna Thoughtseize me on 1. Okay, so they're probably gonna take the Reclaimer here, which means that they make my place a lot easier now. Yeah, definitely the correct pick there. At least we're hitting land drops. We might just lose here. White Swords? Nice. Why am I so stupid? Yeah, big punt. Potentially game-losing punt. Potentially game-losing punt. Saved by the bell. Okay. We got the 5-0 there. Got the 5-0 even though we made that egregious punt right there. Obviously the play was to play Dry at first so we would fix our mana and guarantee our Titan next turn. But I don't know. I just had a serious brain fart I can't really explain. Why did they concede to Titan? Because they can't beat a Titan. A Titan just puts too many zombies in play. So they're gonna be able to deal 12 with the Crippin' Chills. And that's it. Like their Vengevines cannot get through. So that's why they just packed it in there. The highest highs and the lowest lows with this deck. The highest highs and the lowest lows. Getting a 2-3 or stuff like that into 5-0. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna be playing this tomorrow. I'm gonna be playing this, and I'm gonna hope to dodge certain matchups. I think this deck is fairly well positioned against the big dogs, though. I think this list is good against Somnath and basically every control deck. I feel like it is good against I think it's pretty solid against the mirror, actually. I do like this list against the mirror as well. Against like taxes and decks like that, it's fine. Against mono red, I also think it's good. Maybe it could use a little bit of help against mono red specifically. We could have something like, I don't know, Thruktas, Baloth, what's his name, Gargaroth, something like that. Okay, then members in the sideboard since unfair decks are bad for us. Not graveyard unfair decks. Graveyard unfair decks are fine. We beat those, which are the ones that Containment Priest is good against. Deck is lots of fun even with highs and lows. I don't think so. I don't think so. I tried Oriel Champion in the past and it was bad. Core Firewalker was a lot better. So if I wanted to play specifically an anti-mono red card, it would definitely be Core Firewalker. But yeah, should you bring in Boiling against other Dryad decks? That's a good question. I think it depends on your plan. I think it depends on your plan. What I'm trying to say with that is you need to think about how you expect the matchups to go. So if you do expect your opponent to bring their own boils, for example, what I tend to do is I cut some of my own dryads, and then if I expect them to be doing the dryading, then bringing in your own boils is better, and then you don't need to worry so much about your dryads, about killing your opponent's dryads. But if you'd rather go, I think that the better approach is probably to just bring in your dismembers. Like, Boil is going to be an extremely high variance card, right? I'm not discarding that when my opponent tilted off in chat earlier today. I am definitely not discarding at all whatsoever that they had Boil in hand, maybe multiple copies. So when you're bringing a card like this against the Dryad deck, like when you're bringing this against the control deck, you know that it's going to be the nuts. Like they can play around it to an extent, and even they can play around it but no at the same time, because if they're playing around it, they're just messing up with their own mana, with which how greedy their decks are, it's kind of a big deal. So if you're bringing in boils, if you're playing around boils, sorry, and you're fetching for like your Temple Garden, you're fetching for your Stomping Ground, you know, all the stuff that that plays around Boil, then the cryptic commands that are sitting in your hand are going to be uncastable forever, right? So those are the things that you want to watch out. Also against Red and 6 decks, Boil is more of a tempo play than anything else, and it's an extremely powerful one, by the way. We beat Band Ephemerate Aspiring Spikes deck earlier today, and very much on the back of Boil and how good Boil was at, you know, just completely. It was basically double Stone Rain, but we managed to double Stone Rain on their end step. And what that means is that we double Stone Rain them, and then we untapped and we Stone Rain them again or something, you know, like, or you're forcing your opponent to tap out on their end step, and then you untap and you slam a Titan. So Boil is very, very good in some matchups, and in some other matchups, it's just, you just don't bring them in. But if you want to bring it in against the Dryad decks, you have to be careful, because what happened to my blue-red Kiki opponent might happen to you. It's just very easy to play around. If I want to play around Boil, it's very, very easy for me to do. So yeah, those are the things that you have to take into account. So you have to accept the fact that if you bring in Boil, there is a pretty high chance that it just wins you the game, but there's also a pretty high chance that you're gonna die with dead cards in your hand. So do it at your own risk. What I do say though is you have to be consistent with how you think about it. The way that I explain it is like, for example, against Ponza, I would play this deck against Ponza and my opponent would be bringing in Cindervines, right? Cindervines answers 4 Dryads in my deck and literally nothing else. It literally doesn't touch anything else in my entire deck. That's what Cindervines does. It's there to answer Dryad. So if you're bringing in a card that is in your deck literally because you want to answer this card, then you probably should not bring in Boil. So you have to choose what your plan is going to be. Do you want to boil your opponent, which means that you're not going to kill your opponent's Dryad? Or do you want to kill your opponent's Dryad, which means that your boils are going to be that much worse? So you just have to be consistent. I like the static and Cinder, whatever. It doesn't do anything against us. We play literally 8 spells. That's it. This is all the spells that we play. I guess that the Explorers are like whatever, right? That's it. That's all the spells that we play. It's non-creature. Yeah, but most of our stuff that matters is all creatures. Yeah. Cindervines is basically... there we go. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spells, this deals them 1 damage. Yeah, no, this is... That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be consistent with the plan that you're trying to enact. Because otherwise, you're just making your deck that much worse. But yeah, if you kill my Dryad on turn 3 and you top deck a Boil, you're going to feel very stupid. You cat turn Timber for a second castle. This is... Basically, this is a mixture of the list that Will has been playing with the list that I played in the showcase, and with a little sprinkle of what Hello Newton played in the mocks. So that's what we got here today. The only question mark here, as far as the main deck goes, I have been liking the main deck a lot. The only question is whether we want to play more with an extra foothills or whether we want to play an extra castle. But personally, I think that we should be playing the extra foothills. It has felt that even like with this setup, I have not had a turn 1 green source to play my Reclaimer very, very often. Particularly the last couple of leagues, I felt like I was lacking in that department. So the fact that in the last couple of leagues after I made this change, I was still feeling like that means that I'm probably gonna err towards the side of making sure that I can cast my Reclaimer on turn 1, which would mean that I'd rather have the extra hills instead of the extra castle. Skyclave feels like an enchantment creature. Yeah, it's similar to... What's the name of the 2-mana enchantment? Like... That exiles something with cost 3 or less and it gives them a 3/3 dinosaur. Feels a little bit like that. 34 lands? Yeah, that's where we're at. 33 plus Florahedron. And Baffling, thank you. And I have still been missing at land drops, for the record. I have been missing land drops and mulliganing 7 and 6 card hands and only have like 1 card or something. But yeah, I guess this is what I'm going to be playing. So we're going to be going live tomorrow at 8 a.m. PST, which is going to be very early, and I'm going to be very sleepy, and I'm going to be talking very, very low because I don't want to wake up my wife. But you're going to be able to find me on this very channel. I'm going to cut the stream here today because I wanted to write a cyber guide for this since I'm going to be playing this, obviously. And I was thinking of maybe playing like, I guess we can do that tomorrow in between rounds, like playing like a Legacy League, because I have to tune my Legacy list. I think I like where I'm at, but I really want to try out the Titania. So maybe I'll do that off stream or maybe I will record it for Patreon or something, but you know, that's like a little bit easier and faster. when I'm not streaming. So thank you for checking out the stream. We'll be back tomorrow with the showcase. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye bye.